Massive news for the Arsenal supporters after the massive worry and the big worry that happened yesterday on the magnificent win against Leeds United with Saka and Odegaard being injured. News have dropped about their injury and the extension of their injury and how long they're going to be missed. A lot of Arsenal fans are worried about the Liverpool game next week and the extension of the Saka and Odegaard injury. And can they attend the game and can they play the game? And also a lot of other news as well. The transfer window is not shut, it's not closed, and there are new links. They are linking Real Madrid star Rodrygo to Arsenal today about his move. And I know that a lot of people say that he played for Real Madrid. There is still a lot of question marks about his future. We'll talk about all of that. But before we go on, this is Footy Judge Mo. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Help us reach 50K. And also, like the video underneath. The like button looks like thumbs up underneath the video. And also, it would be very beneficial if you can turn on the notification bell to know when we go live, when we drop a new video. And also, leaving the comment below would absolutely help the channel massively. Let me know what your thoughts. And let's start right away. And because there's a lot of people that actually were asking about the how long is Saka injury? Is that the same hamstring? Is it grade 1? Is it grade 2? We have the injury update here from the reports from the Times about the scans that happened for Saka and Odegaard. I know that Arsenal have added Madueke, have added Eze, and a lot of people are saying that Arsenal have added depth, but still, Bukayo Saka is the catalyst. Bukayo Saka is the main man. He's the star boy for Arsenal. There's a lot of things on his shoulder at Arsenal, and a lot of Arsenal fans rely on him, especially with the game happening at Liverpool next week at Anfield, which is it's not a title decider, but it will send a message, especially if Arsenal go there and perform well, get a point or a win or something. We don't know what is going to happen in that game. People wouldn't want to go with that game with a Madueke starting or with a Martinelli, even though Madueke had a good home debut against Leeds when Arsenal magnificent win and Gyökeres is there and there is Declan Rice and there is Zubimendi. You still want Bukayo Saka. Of course, Odegaard, Eze has signed, but a lot of people are saying that Eze might need to start on the left because of the lack of creativity from the left, the weakness on that left side of Arsenal, so they still prefer to have Odegaard. There is the Rodrygo news, we're going to talk about it later, but the injury update for these two players, it looks like it's positive news. As I mentioned in my last video about the grades of the injuries, and it's grade 1 or grade 2, and let's together read the report that happened. Initial reports from the Times, actually, which is very, very trusted about the Saka and Odegaard, that they won't be out for a long time, for an extended period of time. What does that mean? Which is the thing. For Saka, it could point to a grade 1 hamstring. Basically, grade 1 hamstring or grade 1 tear is the lowest tear. It might be a cramp, though, because it might be a tightness in there, which is what people have read, what Bukayo Saka have told the physio on the pitch, that it might be a tightness. Normally, I'm just going to tell you from experience, normally hamstring don't get cramps and don't get tight. Hamstrings, they get low-grade tears or high-grade tears. And for Saka, it could point to a grade 1 hamstring injury around 2 to 4 weeks. However, possibly the hamstring was tight, as it is reported. You won't be able to tell the difference between a tight hamstring and a grade 1. They're both like very small tear in the muscle fibers, and that it can be actually 1 week and he can be back next week. However, I'm going to ask you the first question. Would you, especially after Arsenal signed Eze, would you risk Saka playing at Anfield next week, or would you rather rest him for the next 3 weeks, including the international break, to be ready when Arsenal come back in the Premier League in 3 weeks' time, especially because they have the City game coming up for them, Arsenal? What would you do? If it was, I'm going to answer. Let me read first, and I'm going to tell you my opinion, which could see him back within a week. However, the latter is less likely, but still possible. We'll talk about Odegaard. In my opinion, Saka should be rested. Like, now you have Eze. Now you have Gyökeres. Madueke is there. You shouldn't be relying so much on Saka at Anfield. You're going to be defensive anyway. In my opinion, Arsenal should approach the game in a little bit defensive way. Try to snatch a 1-0 or try to get a draw. That is my opinion. And you have Eze and you have Gyökeres, who can be very good in transition, and Declan Rice, who can be very good in transition. Martinelli as well, and Madueke. You don't need Bukayo Saka there. I know there are a lot of people who say that Arsenal need Bukayo Saka. And of course, Arsenal needs Saka. But in the same time, I think that the rest is warranted because you don't want to aggravate it, even if it's tight, even if it's grade 1. You want to make sure that it's 100% heal before you bring him on. And Saka is very important. Saka is very important to Arsenal. You need him for the rest of the season. I don't want to sit here and have Saka long-term absent from Arsenal, to be honest with you. But as long as we know it's not long-term, fans can breathe. Even rivals are not wishing Saka long-term injury. Everyone loves Bukayo Saka, and they want him to come back for Arsenal. His impact in the Arsenal attack is massive. However, I would rather, if I'm an Arsenal fan, to lose him for one game than lose him for longer time. For Odegaard, as it's reported, the outlook was always quite the opposite. His shoulder issue seems consistent with an AC joint injury, which usually settles quickly and is more about the pain management. So the injury is going to heal. The problem is how much pain he's going to feel when he's turning, when he's playing. That is about the injury. I don't think that Odegaard is going to be absent for a while. I'm expecting him to play against Liverpool. That's why I think that Arsenal, if Odegaard is back, should actually play Eze on the left, Madueke on the right, and Gyökeres up top. And basically the field will be tilted towards the left, which is the Eze. Like, the recovery is going to be simple and it's easy. Both recover smoothly. Hopefully, and Arsenal will be in full strength for the league, as we wish no injuries on anyone in the league. They already have Kai Havertz out, and that is something that is, it needs a little bit of focus and talk and all the stuff. That's the breaking news, that his injury is not as bad. But I'm going to go to the Rodrygo links, but I want to touch on the Eze effect on Arsenal. Now you have the guy that can play right, can play left, can play in the middle, can play 8, can play 10. Now you can rotate. Now you can have different brands of football on the pitch. If a team is sitting low block, in my opinion, you play Eze and Odegaard, and you rest one of Zubamendi and Declan Rice. If you are playing a tougher team in the league, maybe top 6, maybe top 10, and now you play Rice, Zubamendi as double pivots, and Odegaard, and you play Eze on the left. He's very flexible. He's someone that can carry the team. I'm going to say this again. Eze can carry the team offensively, and with all due respect to everyone, as Saka did for years at Arsenal, carrying the team offensively, Eze is that guy. He can carry the team offensively, and I believe he can be absolutely, I think he can be the catalyst for Arsenal, the difference maker in some games, because the ability to dribble from the midfield, the ability to dribble from the left and shoot or cross or create something out of nothing. I love Eze. He's one of my favorite players in the Premier League, as it was Olise as well before. I believe that the two will have similar impacts on the clubs they join. Already Olise is having a magnificent impact to Bayern Munich. I believe Eze can have the same impact that Olise is having for Bayern, but he has it for Arsenal. A lot of people are hesitant to say that because they love Olise and he's young and he's exciting. And I believe Eze is as exciting as Olise. You know, every time I watched him live, when I went to see Crystal Palace game a couple of years ago, he was absolutely electric. Every time he touches the ball, he gets you off your seat, which is something that Arsenal lack, right? Currently, an explosive player that can make something happen out of nothing. That is what I think that will happen with Eze. And I can't wait to see him. And I can't wait to see him play. And I think he's become one of the most dangerous players in the league. And a lot of people are already bantering Arsenal and saying that Arteta is going to hold him back. You can't. That is a player that is impossible for you to hold him back. The BBC already have reported about the injury for Saka and Odegaard. But this is the breaking news. This is the breaking news, of course, from Graham Bailey and Give Me Sport. They said that Arsenal have set to hold talks with Rodrygo camp. Can Arsenal actually do it? I know that Liverpool are still in for him. There is City, but City need to sell Xavi first. That is clearly reported. Do Arsenal need him? Do you think, guys, Arsenal need the likes of Rodrygo? Should Arsenal go and fork that much money for Rodrygo? And in my opinion, yes. There is nothing better than having a lot of players that are very good offensively. Arsenal have a very solid back line. Adding someone like Rodrygo up top will add options, especially with Kai Havertz's injury, because Rodrygo can play central as well. Like, if Gyökeres is going to be rested, Arsenal don't have another striker. Don't tell me that you're going to play Moreno again if Gyökeres needs a rest. That is Rodrygo for you. He can play on the left. He can play up top. He can play Eze, Rodrygo, Saka. He can play Rodrygo, Gyökeres, Saka, Eze, Odegaard. You can have multiple options. Why not? His price is not going to be as high as the likes of Wirtz, as the likes of Rice, Caicedo, or Alexander Isak. His price is set probably between 80 to 100 million euros. That is 75 million pounds or less. So to 85 million pounds, that is nothing in this current market. He's a magnificent player that can provide a spark for Arsenal. They are still exploring the move, as it is reported by a lot of outlets today or earlier today, depending on, or yesterday, depending on when are you watching this video. And again, Graham Bailey has actually provided some kind of deep analysis of the Rodrygo situation. He's saying Rodrygo to Arsenal still has some legs, so he's not dead yet. Arsenal could be interested in a possible loan move. They have got a good relation with Real Madrid. I certainly wouldn't rule that out, especially if Rodrygo pushes that in the last 10 days. I still wouldn't certainly rule Manchester City out of the equation just yet. Rodrygo didn't get any minutes at all in the last match. He's going to play today. The Real Madrid, while I'm recording this video, the Real Madrid are playing and he started the game. But we all know that he was pushed to move. Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso didn't have him in his plans. He didn't play enough in the Club World Cup. He didn't play in the first game of the Liga. He brought 18 years old to the pitch before bringing Rodrygo. So why not Arsenal explore a move with an obligation to buy so the money can be next season? Rodrygo doesn't make a lot of money. He makes less than Kai Havertz. He makes 200k. So why not Arsenal try and go for Rodrygo? There is nothing stopping them from doing that. What is stopping them, though, are other teams exploring the move, like Liverpool, especially who are focusing on Isak, and maybe by Tuesday, they will have a final answer if Isak is going to go to Liverpool or not. There is Manchester City that are trying to sell Savio or Savinho. But Arsenal are building a team that is flexible. This is the first time under Mikel Arteta where we see an Arsenal team that has multiple options with different profiles. That will give them a chance to win the league, probably a big chance to win the league. Is it as good as Liverpool? Currently, Liverpool don't have as much depth. Up front, they don't. Defenders, they don't, because they're still lacking a fourth centre-back, especially when we know that maybe Glasner have hinted about Guehi. And is he going to stay? Is he going to go to Liverpool? We're not sure yet, but we're waiting for that saga as well. But in my opinion, Arsenal should go and try. Maybe after Real Madrid play today. I don't know this. Maybe by the time you watch this video, Arsenal already made the move. I'm not sure. If Arsenal sign Rodrygo, I think that puts them up there with everyone. Probably up there with everyone in the world. They have one of the best defense in the world. The midfield is very, very good. We saw it again at Real Madrid. And now they added the lethal striker. And they have the wingers over there with Saka, Eze. If they add Rodrygo as well, that would be absolutely fantastic and phenomenal. Before you leave, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And I will see you guys in the next video. Turn on the notification bell to know when we go live. And we'll see you guys later.